Jinsu Kim wiped sweat from his forehead as he walked through the dark tunnel. The mining outpost on planet X-427 was hot and dusty. As the team's xenobiologist, he was supposed to check for life forms before the miners dug deeper. Just another empty cave, he muttered to himself, shining his light on the rocky walls. His scanner showed nothing interesting. No life signs, just rocks and more rocks. But then his light hit something that didn't look natural. A smooth metal door. "That's not supposed to be here," Jinsu said. He touched his comm device. "Base, this is Kim. I found something strange in Section 7. "What kind of strange?" The voice of Director Doyen Park crackled through his earpiece. "A door. A metal door in the middle of a cave wall." There was a long pause. "Don't touch anything. Wait for backup." But Jinsu was already running his scanner over the door. Numbers flashed on his screen. "This metal. It's not in our database. And it's old. Very old." The door had no handle, no keypad, nothing to open it. Jinsu pressed his hand against it out of curiosity. To his surprise, it slid open with a hiss. Cold air rushed out. Jinsu stepped back, then forward again. His light revealed a long hallway made of the same strange metal. The walls glowed faintly blue. "Base," the door opened. "I'm going to take a quick look." "Kim, wait for." Jinsu turned off his comm. "Just a quick peek," he told himself. The hallway led to a large round room. In the center was something that made Jinsu freeze. A creature, bigger than any animal he had ever seen. It stood nearly 3 meters tall, though it was hunched over. Its fur was black as space itself, and it was trapped. Beams of energy held the creature in place. Its massive paws couldn't touch the ground. Its head hung low. When Jinsu entered, the creature looked up. Its eyes struck him like a physical blow. They were deep and dark, with swirls of light like tiny galaxies, not animal eyes. These eyes held wisdom, pain, and something else. Something ancient. A voice crackled from speakers in the walls. "Warning. Containment area. Unauthorized personnel must leave immediately." Jinsu ignored the voice. He stepped closer to the creature. "Can you understand me?" he asked. The creature blinked slowly. Then, to Jinsu's shock, he felt something brush against his mind. Not words exactly, but feelings, images. The creature was trying to communicate. Jinsu saw flashes of stars, planets, and then pain, betrayal. He saw beings that looked like giant insects trapping creatures like this one. "You're trying to talk to me," Jinsu whispered. "You're intelligent." The creature's eyes seemed to brighten. More images flowed into Jinsu's mind. A name, or something like it. "Yuna. Yuma? Is that your name?" The creature made a low rumbling sound, almost like a purr. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Director Doyen Park entered with 2 security officers, their weapons drawn. "Kim, what are you doing?" Doyen shouted. Then he saw the creature and stopped. "What is that?" I think it's called a Yuma," Jinsu said, stepping between the guards and the creature. "And it's intelligent. It can communicate telepathically." Doyen's face paled. "This facility is thousands of years old. Are you saying this thing has been trapped here all that time?" "I don't know, but it's suffering." Jinsu looked back at the creature, at Yuma. Her body was thin, her once powerful muscles weak from disuse. "We need to help her." "Her?" Doyen asked. "Yes, she's female. And she's the last of her kind. The Baiko." Jinsu didn't know how he knew these things. The information had simply appeared in his mind. Doyen shook his head. "We need to report this to headquarters. Document everything, but don't interfere. The research team will be here in 3 days." 3 days? But she's in pain now. "That's an order, Kim." Doyen's voice was firm. "This discovery is too important to risk. We do this by the book." As they left the chamber, Jinsu looked back one last time. Yuna's galaxy eyes followed him, filled with a mix of hope and despair. In that moment, he made a silent promise to her. "I'll be back. I won't leave you like this." The door slid shut behind them, but the connection Jinsu felt with Yuna remained. Something had changed in him, and he knew he couldn't just walk away. Jinsu couldn't sleep that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Yuna's galaxy-filled gaze. He felt her pain as if it were his own. At 2 a.m., he made his decision. The outpost was quiet as Jinsu snuck through the hallways. He carried a bag filled with meat from the kitchen and tools that might help with the energy restraints. The security system was easy to bypass. Jinsu had been watching the guards' routines for months. When he reached the hidden door in the cave, he placed his hand on it just like before. It opened with the same soft hiss. "I'm coming, Yuna," he whispered. The blue glow of the ancient facility lit his way. When he entered the main chamber, Yuna's eyes opened immediately. They'd brightened when she saw him. "I brought food," Jinsu said, approaching slowly. He pulled out a large piece of synthetic meat and held it up. Yuna couldn't reach it in her restraints. Jinsu looked at the control panel near the wall. The symbols were strange, but he recognized patterns similar to power systems he'd studied. "I'm going to try something," he said. "I think I can lower one of these beams just enough for you to eat." He pressed what looked like a dimming control. One of the energy beams holding Yuna's right paw weakened. She could now lower her arm just enough. Jinsu approached and held out the meat. Yuna took it gently, her massive claws carefully avoiding his skin. She ate hungrily. "How long have you been here?" Jinsu asked. Images flooded his mind. Stars being born and dying. Civilizations rising and falling. Numbers that made no sense until Jinsu realized they were years. Thousands of years. 2,000 years. He gasped. "You've been trapped here for 2,000 years. A feeling of agreement touched his mind. "Who did this to you? Why?" More images came, insect-like creatures with advanced technology. Yuna's people, the Beko, protecting younger species across the galaxy. Then betrayal. The insects, the krill, feared the Beko's power. They tricked them, trapped them, and used their life energy as power sources. "That's horrible," Jinsu said. "No being should be treated like a battery." Gratitude flowed from Yuna to Jinsu. Then curiosity. Images of humans appeared in Jinsu's mind. "Yes, we're a young species," Jinsu explained. "We've only been traveling in space for a few hundred years." Yuna sent more images. Humans resisting krill mind control where other species had failed. "We have special brains?" Jinsu asked, trying to understand. Confirmation. Then warning. Danger. The krill are still around, but in hiding. Fear, urgency. Yuna showed Jinsu images of krill taking on the appearances of other species, including humans. They're shapeshifters, and they've infiltrated human society. Yuna's eyes dimmed slightly, her energy fading. "You need to rest," Jinsu said, putting more food within her reach. "I'll come back tomorrow night." As he turned to leave, Yuna sent one more powerful image. The research team coming to the outpost. Among them, disguised krill. "The corporate team," Jinsu whispered. "Some of them are krill." Confirmation, and more. They knew about Yuna. They had been searching for her. "I won't let them take you," Jinsu promised. "Somehow, I'll free you before they arrive." As he left the chamber, Jinsu felt something new in his mind. A small, warm presence. The beginning of a bond between human and Beko. Back in his quarters, Jinsu researched the ancient facility's power systems. If the research team included disguised krill, he needed to work fast. But he wasn't alone anymore. In the darkness of the ancient chamber, Yuna's eyes glowed brighter. For the first time in 2,000 years, she felt hope. This human, so small compared to her true form, had shown her kindness. And in his mind, she sensed the strength that made humans unique. the ability to care for those different from themselves. She reached out with her mind, strengthening their connection. Together, perhaps they could change the fate of the galaxy. "We need help," Jinsu told Tahoe. "We can't fight Dr. Choi and her team alone." Tahoe nodded. "I know someone we can trust. Follow me." They walked through the quiet hallways to the maintenance section. There, a small woman with short hair worked on an engine part. This was Minji Ryu, the outpost's best mechanic. "Minji," Tahoe said, "we need to talk. It's about the thing they found in the cave." Minji looked up, her eyes sharp. "The creature they're keeping secret. I've heard rumors." "It's not just a creature," Jinsu said. "Her name is Yuna. She's intelligent and in danger." Minji put down her tools. "I never trusted those corporate types. What do you need?" Jinsu explained everything. Yuna's telepathic abilities, the Baiko species, and the krill infiltration. To his surprise, Minji believed him right away. 3 months ago, I fixed Dr. Choi's private communication device," she said. "I saw messages about power extraction and specimen transport. I knew something bad was happening." "We need to see their plans," Tahoe said. "Can you hack into their systems?" Minji smiled. "Already did. Follow me." She led them to a small room filled with screens. After typing quickly on a keyboard, she pulled up files marked classified. "Look at this," she said, pointing to a diagram. It showed Yuna strapped to a table, with machines connected to her body. "They're planning to cut her open to study how her energy works." Jinsu felt sick. "We have to stop them." Another file showed a map of the galaxy with red dots on several planets. "More captive Baiko," Tahoe whispered. They'd found others. Jinsu's comm device buzzed. It was Director Doyen. "Kim, come to my office." "Now." The three exchanged worried looks. "He might be working with them," Tahoe warned. "I have to go," Jinsu said. "Keep looking for anything that might help us." When Jinsu reached Doyen's office, he found the director staring out the window at the barren landscape. "Sir, you wanted to see me." Doyen turned. His face looked tired. "What do you know about Dr. Choi and her team?" Jinsu hesitated. "What do you mean, sir?" "Don't play games, Kim. I saw the security logs. You've been visiting the creature at night." Jinsu's heart sank. "Are you going to report me?" Doyen sighed. "No, because I've seen things too." Dr. Choi's eyes changed when she thought no one was looking. "And I found this." He handed Jinsu a tablet with images of dissected alien bodies. These were other creatures like Yuna. They killed them to study their power. "Sir, Yuna told me the truth. The krill, Dr. Choi's real species, betrayed the Baiko long ago. They'd been hiding among humans, using corporations as cover." Doyen sat heavily in his chair. "If what you're saying is true, we're all in danger. We need to free Yuna before they transport her tomorrow." "That's impossible. There are too many guards." Jinsu felt Yuna's presence touch his mind, stronger than ever. Show him asterisk. Without warning, Jinsu's mind filled with vivid images, the Baiko's history as cosmic guardians, created by the first beings in the galaxy to maintain balance and protect new life. The krill betrayal led to chaos and suffering across countless worlds. "What just happened?" Doyen asked, seeing Jinsu's face change. "Yuna is showing me her people's history," Jinsu said. "The Baiko were protectors of all life. Their imprisonment allowed the krill to exploit entire worlds." Doyen's eyes widened. "She can share memories with you from that distance." "Our connection is growing stronger," Jinsu explained. "Humans have a special brain pattern that works well with Baiko telepathy. That's why the krill fear us. Together, we could stop them." Doyen was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood up. "Tell Tahoe and Minji to meet us in my quarters in 1 hour. Dr. Choi's transport ship arrives tomorrow morning. If we're going to free Yuna, we need a plan tonight. As Jinsu left, he felt hope for the first time in days. He wasn't alone anymore. And through his mind, Yuna sent a feeling of gratitude so powerful it brought tears to his eyes. Asterisk together, asterisk her thoughts whispered. Asterisk. The plan is simple, Doyen said, pointing to a map of the outpost. Minji will create a power problem in Section 3. That will draw most of the guards away from the ancient facility. Jinsu, Taiho, and Minji nodded as they gathered in Doyen's quarters. Then Taiho and I will distract Dr. Choi and her team with a fake emergency meeting, Doyen continued. That gives Jinsu about 20 minutes to free Yuna. How exactly do I free her? Jinsu asked. Those energy restraints are powerful. Minji handed him a small device. I made this from studying the facility's technology. It should disrupt the restraints long enough for Yuna to break free. What happens after she's free? Taiho asked. She's too big to hide. We'll have to run, Doyen said. There's an old mining ship in Bay 4. It's small, but it should fit Yuna. We can escape to the outer colonies where the corporation has less control. Jinsu felt Yuna touch his mind. Asterisk thank you all asterisk. She knows our plan, Jinsu told the others. She's ready. At exactly midnight, they put their plan into action. Minji went to the power control room. Minutes later, alarms blared through the outpost. Warning. Power failure in Section 3. All available personnel report to Section 3. Guards ran past Jinsu as he made his way to the cave entrance. The facility door opened easily with his handprint. Inside, the blue glow seemed dimmer, as if the ancient place knew something was about to change. When Jinsu entered the main chamber, Yuna's eyes brightened. Only one guard remained, and he looked nervous. Kim, what are you doing here? The guard asked. This area is restricted. Director Park sent me to check on the specimen during the power fluctuations. Jinsu lied. Before the guard could respond, Taiho appeared behind him and knocked him unconscious with a quick blow. Hurry, Taiho said. Dr. Choi didn't believe our fake meeting. She's on her way. Jinsu rushed to the control panel and attached Minji's device. Lights flashed as it worked to break the security codes. Come on, Jinsu whispered. The door to the chamber burst open. Dr. Choi stood there, her face twisted with rage. But something was wrong with her face. It seemed to shift and change, showing glimpses of an insect-like structure underneath. Stop what you're doing, she shouted, her voice no longer human. 2 guards flanked her, weapons raised. Taiho, run, Jinsu yelled. Get the ship ready. Taiho hesitated, then dashed out another door. Dr. Choi ignored him, focusing on Jinsu. You have no idea what you're dealing with, human, she hissed. Her skin rippled, revealing greenish plates beneath. The Baiko are too dangerous to be free. They're only dangerous to oppressors like you, Jinsu said, still working on the device. Dr. Choi signaled to her guards. Kill him. The guards fired. Jinsu dove to the side, but pain exploded in his shoulder as a beam grazed him. He fell hard, blood soaking his uniform. Yuna roared, the first sound Jinsu had ever heard her make. The noise shook the entire chamber. One of the energy restraints flickered. Shoot it, Dr. Choi screamed, her face now more insect than human. Kill it before it breaks free. The guards turned their weapons on Yuna. Jinsu, despite his wound, lunged forward and tackled one guard. They crashed into the control panel, accidentally activating Minji's device. All the lights in the facility flickered. One of Yuna's restraints vanished completely. With one mighty paw now free, Yuna swiped at the second guard, sending him flying across the room. Dr. Choi backed toward the door, her body changing more rapidly now. You've doomed yourselves, she said, her voice clicking and inhuman. The Krill Dominion will hunt you all. Jinsu dragged himself to the control panel, his strength fading. One more restraint, Yuna. Just need to. Break one more. Dr. Choi pulled out a weapon, and aimed it at Jinsu's head. Enough of this. Before she could fire, Yuma gathered her strength and pulled against her remaining restraints. With a roar that seemed to contain all her centuries of pain, she broke another beam. The surge of power knocked everyone to the ground. The lights went completely dark. In the sudden silence, Jinsu felt warm liquid soaking his side. His vision blurred. "Yuma," he whispered, "run." The last thing he saw before losing consciousness was a pair of Galxy eyes, looking down at him with concern, no longer held back by any restraints at all. With Jae Sung's help, the tide of the war began to turn. The human The day of the great battle arrived. The reptilian army was a fearsome sight, with rows of armored soldiers and huge war beasts. They covered the land like a sea of death, ready to drown the feline rebellion. On the other side, Jae Sung, Mayo, and their force took their positions. They were fewer in number but had the advantage of the high ground. And they had something more, the burning desire for freedom. As the sun climbed high, the reptilian king rode to the front of his army. In a cold voice that carried across the field, he gave the felines one last chance to surrender. He told them their fight was hopeless. He promised them mercy if they gave up now. For a long moment, there was silence. Then Mayo stepped forward, her voice ringing with defiance. "We may fall today," she called out, "but we will fall as free felines, not as slaves. We choose to fight." A great cheer went up from the rebel army. The reptilian king's face twisted in rage. With a shout, he ordered his forces to attack. The battle was joined. The reptilians surged forward like a great wave. Jae Sung and the feline archers rained arrows on them, each one finding its mark in throats and eyes. But still the enemy came on. Soon the fighting was hand to hand. Mayo was a terror on the field, her claws and teeth red with blood. Jae Sung was always at her side, his strange human weapons dealing death. For hours the armies clashed. The ground grew slick with gore. The cries of the wounded filled the air. Slowly, inch by inch, the felines were driven back. There were simply too many reptilians. Mayo and Jae Sung found themselves at the center of the hottest fighting. They were surrounded, cut off from their allies. The reptilian king saw his chance. He called his most savage beasts and strongest warriors to him. With a roar, they charged at the pair. Mayo and Jae Sung fought like cornered lions, but they could not hold against so many. One of the great beasts caught Jae Sung in its jaws, shaking him like a rag doll. With a cry, Mayo leaped on its back, her claws finding its eyes. The beast fell, but more took its place. Jae Sung lay broken and bleeding on the ground. Mayo stood over him, facing the reptilian king alone. All around them, the battle still raged, but in this moment, they were the only two in the world. "Cattle," the king sneered. "Did you truly think you could win? You forget your place." Mayo looked at Jae Sung, then back at the king. In her eyes was a calm certainty. "My place," she said softly, "is fighting for the freedom of my people, and I will never stop." With that, she leaped at the king, moving faster than any eye could follow. The battle of two leaders began, while the fate of a world hung in the balance. The battle between Mayo and the reptilian king seemed to last for an eternity. They were a blur of claws, teeth, and steel, moving faster than the eye could follow. The sounds of their clash rang out over the field. Around them, the battle had stopped. All eyes were on this fight. Feline and reptilian alike held their breath, knowing that the outcome would decide everything. And then it was over. Mayo stood tall, her claws dripping with the king's blood. The reptilian ruler lay dead at her feet. For a moment, there was stunned silence. Then a great cheer went up from the felines. They had won. They were free. The remaining reptilians threw down their weapons. Without their king, they had no will to fight. Mayo ordered them to leave Felinos and never return. They slunk away, defeated and broken. Mayo rushed to Jae-sung's side. The human was badly hurt, but he was alive. Mayo held him gently, tears of joy and sorrow mixing on her face. "We did it," she whispered. "Thanks to you." Jae-sung smiled weakly. "No," he said. "Thanks to you. You were the one who never gave up. You were the true hero." In the days that followed, the felines began to rebuild their world. Mayo was chosen as their leader, guiding them with wisdom and compassion. Jae-sung stayed by her side, helping where he could. The bond between human and feline was stronger than ever. As the years passed, Felinos prospered. The scars of the past faded, replaced by new growth. Feline children were born into a world of freedom, never knowing the yoke of slavery. Jae-sung and Mayo remained close all their lives. When Jae-sung grew old, Mayo stayed by his bedside. She held his hand as he slipped away, thanking him one last time for all he had done. Mayo lived to a great age, seeing her world flourish, and when her time came, she too passed peacefully, knowing that her people were free and that she had kept the promise made so long ago. The story of Mayo and Jae-sung was told and retold, passed down from parent to child. In time, it became legend, the tale of the feline who never surrendered and the human who was her truest friend. And though they were gone, their legacy lived on in a world remade by their courage and sacrifice. For Felinos, a new era had dawned, bright with promise. And it had all begun with an unlikely bond between two souls, a bond that had changed everything.